Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie Piante. Oh yeah. So with the recent videos being made, I got to put my K-Bar Big Brother in my hand quite a bit over the last few days. And it reminded me how much I love this freaking knife. So we're going to do a little Do I Still Love It? I just kind of answered it, but now we're going to show why. We're going to go out and we're going to work the Big Brother, even though it's not the natural edge because I put a new edge on it, but I kept it as close to the original edge as I possibly could. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to use it. Do I still love this sheath? It's one of my favorites. Oh my God, they use such good quality leather on these sheaths. It's just impeccable. Made in Orleans, New York, K-Bar, USA. This is the Big Brother, which is the third size in the series of these type knives, the leather stack handle knives. They have the short, which is one of my favorite K-Bars to carry outside of the BK2. Then they have the utility, which most people know as the USMC, which is my least favorite. And then they have the Big Brother, which of all of this style that K-Bar does, this one is by far and away my favorite. Love it. I got to show you why. So I don't have any of the specs with me, but I did a full review on this knife. So you can look up the K-Bar Big Brother review, and it just says K-Bar Big Brother knife review. That's what the title is. You'll find it if you look for it. Has all the specs, everything in it. The only thing different from the original specs to this specs is that blade width was just a little bit more because I had to grind some out. Outside of that, exactly the freaking same. We're not going to waste time talking. Let's get to hitting. So you got to like how I say we're not going to spend too much time talking, but this entire time I'm really talking. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, but I can do it. I can do it. I can do it all. Why? Because I'm Don, the Kung Fu fighter, hand-to-hand kickboxing sniper. Yeah, that's enough of that crap. That's enough of that crap. That's enough spitting bars with Donnie B all day. Woo! Woo! So does the edge. Still work. After I went through it, is it still sharp? Yeah, it's still pretty sharp. It's still going to get going, but that's not what you're here to see. You're not here to see me chop weeds. No, no, no. Hey, Roscoe, get in that yard. What you want to see is the stump action. Stump action. Man, we can make an adult film called Stump Action. Be like, I guess, midgets. Ho, ho, ho. All right, so let's clear some of this off. We'll go over, first, before we start, let's go over the likes and dislikes. What would make this blade, do I still love I dislikes. I don't like that it has a serrated spine. I like that the spine is serrated. I would prefer it not to be, but it's there and it works. So it's kind of hard to knock it if it's getting the job done. The only thing that sucks is you go from serration to swedge, which means you tear up batons when trying to baton with it. And that would be the only thing. And of course, you're only batoning when it comes down to processing firewood, and what you have on you is your big knife. Just like some of the cowboys, when they were on the trail, they didn't carry an axe or a hatchet and a knife and a kitchen knife and a fighting. They carried one large knife because it needed to take care of every single thing. And they did so because these aren't wagon cowboys. These aren't wagoneers. I'm talking about straight up like cattlemen, things like that, where they needed to travel as light as possible. Outlaws, as light as possible. They would carry mainly a handgun, some ammo, a big knife. Sometimes they'd have two handguns, sometimes they'd have a rifle, but they would carry as little as possible because when you need to get away from the law, you don't need axes and things, jostling all over the place when you're trying to run away on a horse, right? So the big knife was a one thing, do all type thing for these cowboys. And that's why we have the big knives today, because it's a do-all. That's why you can go camping and not have an axe or a hatchet. You can get everything done. So that's why it is what it is. That's why we baton with knives. So you'll hear a lot of people, especially the snobs out there, say, "Oh, you don't but Tom, a knife, that's why you carry an axe. All right, good. Okay, if you're going on a 35-mile hike into a desolate area and you're crossing through rivers and doing all that, carry as much as you want. I don't care. I'm carrying a knife. Do what you want. I'm smarter than you. All right, so what do I like and dislike about it? I love the blade shape. I freaking love the blade shape. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I love this blade shape. What do I dislike? The blade thickness. It's like, what, an eighth? It is so narrow. I have no idea why they would make such an impressive knife so thin. It doesn't make any sense to me. And getting to the next dislike, stick tang. It's a real small stick tang. You can see maybe where it starts and stops, but right there, that's what it is. So you're looking at that is the only thing going through there. Ugh, gross. I hate, I don't know if I've ever told you, but I hate when good companies on what could be a really great knife use a stick tang, and that's why the D-Bad War Machine is the way to go. That's one thing I hate. The leather stacked handles, as much grip as I put on it, it's going to turn. No matter how hard I squeeze, it's just not made for a real person's hands. The contouring is minimal, and where they put it to where it's thinning out the ends so much that the ends of your hands aren't getting any real grip. The only thing that's getting a grip is your middle finger. That's it, and that's kind of a middle finger to knife people everywhere saying, you don't need it. What I do like, even though they have a stick tang, I like that they pin it. There's a lot of ways you could do it. You could rat tail it and then thread this thing and screw it on there. Nope, they pin it on there. That holds everything really tight, holds the guard really tight. So at least if you're going to do something crappy, do it crappy right. And that's what they did. They did it crappy right. The appearance, even though I hate this, I love this. Like, you look at it and you go, damn. Because as much as this sucks and as much as it's useless and doesn't belong on a knife, it's beautiful. Can't deny that. So outside of that, normally what I would hate on a knife like this is the end being weighted, because it takes away from the knife. But they did such a good job with the length of the blade, choosing the length, which I think is 10 inches. Yeah, I think it's 10 inches because it's a little bit smaller than my hands. At a 10-inch blade, you still have carryover. Could it be a little bit better? Yeah, if this was off of there, it would have even better balance. I mean, it would just flow so right. But it is what it is. And it's still one of my favorite fighting knives, even though this takes away from all that it could be. So that's it. And here's the thing with a fighting knife, guys. Everybody thinks that a fighting knife has to have these big guards. Remember, like especially the sandbar fight, the knife that was supposedly used, most likely used, kind of almost looked like this, right? It didn't have a guard on it. It had probably a coffin handle, no guard, and then it had this almost butcher style looking blade. But they didn't have guards, and they were fighting knives. They were knives made for fighting. Just because you don't have a guard doesn't mean it's not a fighting knife, even though this one has a little tiny one. And a lot of people are hung up on that. They say, oh, if it's not a fighting knife, if you don't have a guard, okay, a fighting knife doesn't mean you're going ching, 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 clashing blades for 45 minutes. That's not what a fighting knife is. A fighting knife is you get in and out of the opponent's strikes. You strike first, you strike well. Use your heads, guys. So that's the likes and dislikes about it. Oh, and the edge profiling, the way they did it originally, beautiful. Hopefully my edge profile will still be able to do everything the way it's supposed to do. Let's do some drop tests and check for that balance. And you can see how it leans just a slight amount because of the rear weight, but otherwise it's fine. Do a couple hard downward throws. That's going to check us. A, the tip strength, right, which I already know this is really good. B, it's going to see if anything loosens here, which it's not going to. And C, on a blade thin, you can see how it goes. You can check the spring and see how well it snaps back. And this snaps back really, really well. Again, this is very, very well done. Let's see. The edge profile I put on it. Ooh-wee. I'll tell you, old D-Bad must have done a good job. because those are curls. Let me bring you a little closer. Get a little closer. Don't be shy. Get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry. Some of you remember those commercials. All right, here we go. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Who knows? Maybe my edge is better. Who knows? Because, man, look at those curls. Ooh, my edge is good. And that's by hand, guys. That's by hand. There's no work sharp there. There's no work sharp. This is on a 1x30. Ooh. Let's see. Man, no matter how you do it. No matter how you do it, you're getting paper thin curls. Let's do some pulls. Let's check, because I say no matter how you do it, but I didn't show you no matter how you do it. Side grip. Side grip, awesome for controlling these. Look at this. Oh my gosh. That's like, I forget her name, that old actress with the curly hair. Oh my God, it's like those tight curls. And they're so fine. I'll have to show you up close. Those are so fine. I'll tell you, if you really, really need to get a fire going, you need good starter. That kind of stuff right there is good starter. All right, let's get us a tip made right here for our pit spikes, our tent spikes, our hat holders or bag holders, and our spears and arrows, anything that we are going to need for either camp necessities or protection or hunting. Anything. You want a bear spear or a boar spear, you want to get a tip. And while we can sit there and go like this the whole time, that'll just take forever. So we do this. We chop it down to where almost to the point we want it. Then we just finish it off. Old school way. One of my brothers over there being buried. One of my brothers being buried. Thank you for your service, my brother. All right. So now we get it to an easy point, and now we just finish it off, and we can fine tune it, make it as sharp as we want, and we are good to go there. So just beautiful, man, just beautiful. And if you're making like making some kind of chair or something, and you need to be able to fit pieces together, to be able to huck it in, and then let's say you had a piece that was split, and now we're going to take this piece right here. I don't like hitting sideways with these blades because it is a stick tang, and I did just hit myself with the serrations, but I'm okay. Oh, I did it again. Maybe now I'm not okay, but normally, let's see. We want to get a good hammer in there. I'll try to show you what I mean. I guess we could use the hammer end. That's probably why they call it that. There we go. So now, if I wanted, I would take down the tip more if I was doing this, but I could do it on two pieces, right? If I wanted to do another one over there, like sharpen the end like this, and then go that's like the back of a chair, or you can make stools, things like that. You take a little twine, you wrap it around here, or not twine, but anything natural. You could peel some bark, wrap it around, and that's how you can make yourself a really good chair. You'd have to make that thinner though. But stuff like that. Stuff like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you need more help than I do. All right, let's get us something to baton through. There's one big piece right here. I don't even know where my dogs are. I might have to make a timeout and go dog searching. I think I lost them. Hold on a second. Back on track. These are like, now I know what the term devil dog is from. Because these dogs are the damn devil. All right, let's see here. There we go. Get a nice little starter. Yeah, it may be a thin blade. Still a K-bar. Still got 1095 Pro Van. Oh, still nice. Still so nice. I wonder if we can get a full chop. We're gonna try. Oh, that's so close. I bet if it wasn't knotted at the end, that would have went right through. And the reason is because this thing's awesome. Oh, now that we have this here, let's work some notching. So there's a couple ways to notch, right? We can take a knife and we can just really push hard. We could change direction and we could really push hard. And then we get ourselves a nice notch. Now, notches are great for tying things together, tying things down. If you're going to make your tent spike, you could wrap your strings around there. If you're putting stuff together, if you're making one of those chairs, notching is really, really important. There's a couple different kinds of notches too. You have that kind of the wedge notch, and you have your square notch, and that's what we're doing right here. So a square notch is great for fitting two pieces together so they don't slide, right? You get one, you make a notch, and another one the same size. They aren't going to move. It's Lincoln Logs, right? Awesome. The other way to make a notch with this is to use the serrations. I find it easier just to do it the other way, but this makes a really, really good notch. And if I really, really wanted to spend all day, instead of batoning, I can literally cut with this thing. If I needed a really precise end, I could spend all day doing that. And there you go. So there's that. There's that. I'm trying to think of different things to do because I really like this knife. I just want to keep playing with it. All right, so let's do a downward slice on the saddlebag. Remember, saddlebag is bouncy and movie. It's leather. It's different layers. It's kind of hard to rip through. I cut it pretty good. I had a serious vibration in that one. That was that sound. That one vibrated. I'm going to hold it way at the end, and I'm going to see if I can do it from the tip, get more momentum. I mean, it's not a D-pad. My D-pad. That went straight through. All right, let's see. All right, so again, I'm cutting it. And I'll tell you what, this was from a single hit with a D-pad. Was it the OEF Defender? I think it might have been, where I just went bam, and it opened up crazy through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. You know what I mean? And there's 2 and 2 right here. It went through all that leather on a downward slot. Exactly what I just did. This one put a cut in it, but it wouldn't go through. So it's just like a testament to the D-pad knives. Like, I'm not joking. They're really good, man. They're really freaking good. So let's do a tire stab. I'll even bring it closer. I know that because of the thin profile, this should have no problems doing that. I think it was the Mission 3 that I used, and it just coursed all the way through. And that's going to do the same kind of thing because it's so narrow. Oh, I guess it didn't go all the way through. But it went pretty damn deep. Oh, it didn't even hit the other side. I thought it did. But pretty damn deep. There we go. Now this is a more of a slicer than some of my knives, and it's really showing because it is opening up the rubber on these tires, on this tire, in a really, really good way. So the big brother. Holy crap! All right, my D-pads, when I threw them into there, it went straight through. This one came back and almost killed me. So, if you are looking to end your own life by way of throwing a knife and making it come back at you, that's a really good way. Let's do this. Let's end it with a jammy. Let's end it with a jammy here. I gotta back up. Poof. Now I had confidence in that one because I've thrown this knife a lot. There's no lie there. I've thrown this knife a lot. Do you know why? Because it's awesome. It's well balanced. It throws nice. I just love it. So do I still love L-O-V-E love my K-Bar Big Brother? Absolutely. I have hang-ups on the K-Bar knives, things that I just can't get past, things that I'll hate forever. But even with the hang-ups, this thing is so sweet. If you own a K-Bar Big Brother, I guarantee you own a knife that you're happy with. I guarantee it. If you own this knife, if you say, I hate stick tangs, I hate leather wrapped, I hate the weighted ends, I hate thin blades, you can say all of that. Just like me, I say all of that. I love this knife. I love this knife. If you have a chance to get a K-Bar Big Brother, whew, I would say go get yourself a K-Bar Big Brother. If you were planning on getting your child braces, wait. I mean, crooked teeth are okay in some countries. Just move. But move and get yourself a Big Brother, because this thing is awesome, baby. So yeah, so through it all, this is one of those knives that I'll never get rid of. I love it so much that rather than having a new one sent to me, I just fixed it, because it's like, this is just my awesome, sweet, beautiful Big Brother badass knife. So so that's it for this one. I'm gonna clean it, put it in the bin, and take it out when I need it. That's it. I am Donnie B all day. Till next knife.